Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Good morning. It just keeps getting crazier. Oh boy. What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. So, a New York it's a city, not just a city ordinance, but an their environmental agency has now deployed these little sound detectors all over the city, very similar to like red light cameras. The only difference is if your car sounds like mine, that's $850. Now, if you're like, that's some bullshit like me, you would be right. Because listen, man, $850 for a sound. And here's the thing. A lot of these cars that are going to get nailed, like Scat Packs, Mustangs, V8 cars, are going to get nailed with this, and they're stock. Now, what they do is they send you a summons in the mail, like it happened to one gentleman with an M3 in New York, and they ask you to come to a sewage treatment plant. Think about that for a second. Sounds a little weird, doesn't it? You want me to go to a sewage treatment plant for you to inspect my car, and then if I let them fix it, I don't have to pay the $875 or $850. Yeah, that's a negative. That is a 100% full out and out negative. Now, what's crazy is because it's from the environment, like, look, this isn't the EPA per se. This is the state of New York's environmental agency or whatever that's done this. One, I have no idea what in the hell sound has to do with the environment. If a car is a little loud, what does that have to do with emissions or protecting the environment? Nothing. It's another BS control tactic for them to just try to control the public further and further. And they're going to get to a point. Now, this is where, you're going to say, TK, that's a conspiracy theory. It's going to get to a point where they just don't want us to have our own cars, period. That's the reason why, and I'm going to do a whole video on why they want to kill the internal combustion engine. It's because it provides us freedom. I know you're going to say, well, electric engines, no, they won't. I can go across this country, it's called the Cannonball Run, in 24 hours or less, maybe. I can't do that in an electric car. Yeah, I know Tesla has supercharging and everything else, and I'm going to do a separate video just on this whole subject. But all of these regulations and all of this quote-unquote BS is literally being pushed upon us for one reason. They want to make it so burdensome that the average person doesn't even want to own a car. Think about the person who just has a Scat Pack that they bought stock and they're driving it down the road in New York or just visiting. Snap, takes a picture of your license plate because your exhaust seems too loud to them. And now you have to get a subpoena. Let's say you're in Florida and you go back home, and now you get a subpoena in the mail and you have to bring your car all the way back to New York or pay an $875 fine. Now, the true thing is here, because they're not actually the police department, and because it's not actually the Department of Motor Vehicles, I don't know if they actually have any legal leg to stand on. Could they send it to collections or something? Sure. But could they suspend your license or try to impound your car or something? I don't think so. The government will try to do anything. It's kind of like they just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. And I think this is another thing of New York saying, well, we'll just try this and we'll see if it works. And I'm going to tell you the first time it's going to become a problem. The first time it becomes a problem is when a state representative from the state of New York or a city councilman or something is driving their Porsche or their nice car, which is completely stock, and they get one of these friggin' notices in the mail. Then it all comes to a stop. Look at the red light camera laws in Florida. What happened? State representative got hit with one of these red light tickets, and that was the end of that shit. And it will be no different in the state of New York. You know, laws for thee, not for me. That's really how that works. You know, I'm not going to get into a whole thing about the pandemic and the other issues that we're dealing with right now, but that's what it is. Laws for thee, but not for me. And that's how they run. And, you know, look, I feel sorry for my friends and people in New York, because I know a lot of the BMW community up there. And there's going to be a lot of tickets in the mail. Now, there are a couple different things that you can do to counteract it. I'm also going to link the article that we're talking about today in the description if you want to go read it. But there are different things that you can do to kind of counteract this BS. First things first, I'm guessing their cameras operate the same way as a red light camera, so they probably have some kind of flash. Now, what I am about to tell you, depending on what state you're in, could be illegal. I'm only speaking about where I'm at, where they don't care, and this is not an enforceable thing, and it's not illegal in my state. But they sell a license plate bracket that when it sees a flash, it puts out a massive flash of light, which basically makes your license plate look like a big, bright color and nothing. They get nothing. They get no plate information, no nothing. And then you could pop, 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 two-step it all the way down the road, and there's zero they can do about it. Your second option would be a license plate cover. Now, you could get a license plate cover that covers, you know, your plate like a bracket. Now, you could possibly get a ticket for that. I know a lot of states don't like that. I would just say, hey, I'd rather get the ticket for a license plate cover if they get me one. And it's probably a lot less than $875. And just put it on the car. And basically what happens is when the camera tries to take a picture, they have different ones. They have one that distorts the image where they can't read the letters. And there's another one that it just basically flashes out. Very similar to the more high-tech thing that flashes when it sees a flash. So it really just depends on what your level of comfort is installing. But those two things could help you from getting that. Now, if you're in the state of New York, you got front plates and you got rear plates. You need one on the front as well as the rear. Or, you put your, I would say put it in the window, but see, I don't know if the cameras are only getting the rear of the car or there's another camera up the road. They didn't make that clear. So I don't know if they're going to be able to get the front and the back of your car. But, yeah, that kind of sucks. And then there's going to be false ones, right? There's going to be some poor SOB in a Prius going down the road, and maybe a block over or coming the other way in the intersection, there'll be a loud, ooh, wow, they're fighting out here. There'll be a loud Mustang or something. And that Prius it's gonna take the picture, and that Prius is gonna get nailed. That's the day I want to see that too, because you know that Prius owner is gonna be livid. The Prius owners in New York are like, yay, screw these loud cars, until they get the ticket, and they're gonna be like, what? Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. What do you guys think about it though? Me personally, I think it's bullshit. That's just me. I think it's bullshit. It's more regulation, more BS, more crap that we don't need, and I'm just sick of seeing these crazy ass, tactics and control that they keep trying to do on all of us, and I'm just sick of it. But with that said, since we did talk about the EPA earlier today, the EPA can eat a dick. The EPA can also love this car. Yeah. So two things are going to happen. I'm never going to pay a noise ordinance ticket. They could eat a dick. And I'm never going to let the EPA tell me what I can or cannot do with my car, period. So, yeah, let's all defund the EPA, all right? With that said, thank you guys very much for watching. Let me know what you guys think about this New York situation, because me personally, I think it's bullshit, man. I do. I really think it's just bullshit. Unnecessary regulation and bullshit. But I'd like to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Anyway, till next time, guys. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one.